Hi, thank you again for tuning into my channel again today. My name is Grizel. My channel Inspired Grizel, and I really appreciate you for always tuning in and for commenting and for liking and sharing, and God bless you. So again, on this channel, I encourage, I worship, I'm very positive like that. Yeah. So in my previous video, I was looking at the traits in a Boaz. Yeah, in a Boaz. We was here, oh, where's my Boaz? We never hear, where's my Ruth? I'm not sure why, but maybe because we women will have a tendency of just blowing things out of proportion. And just so I'm not one-sided, it's good to know what to look for in a man, but it's also good to know what men are looking for in a woman, or what suitable traits, if you're a guy and you want to settle, what suitable traits you should look for in your Ruth. Okay, so the inspiration is from the book of Ruth, chapter 1 to chapter 4. So if you haven't watched my previous video, you should, on the traits in a Boaz, in the traits in a man that is a suitable spouse, right? So if you're looking for a wife, or ladies, if you want to be found, these are the kind of traits you should have. First, we discover that Ruth was humble, polite. She was courteous. There was a way that she just speaks to you. When she went to walk into the field, she was like, oh, please, can you let me walk here? She wasn't like, no, I have to walk here, I need a job and all of that. She was polite, she was courteous, she was humble, right? It's not because she was poor. No, that wasn't the reason. It was just because she's humble. Because there are people that are poor and they are still not humble. So humility is not about what you have, right? It's a state of the heart. It's a state of the heart. It's about you understanding that God will always lift up the humble. So Ruth was humble. And I'm not surprised Boaz identified her and made her his woman. Yeah. So another trait that Ruth had was she was submissive. She wasn't just submissive to a man. Her submission started from the way she treated her mother-in-law. She was there working and being by her side and following her instructions, So being submissive, for us ladies, especially if you're so used to being in your independent bubble, yeah? So being submissive to elderly people or other people, not just a man, but even women, can help with your submission. So Ruth was submissive. She was. And that's why even when she went throwing herself out there to Boaz, and he was like, okay, no, you go back. Don't let people see you, and I'm going to do what is right. She just obeyed. She was submissive, just like that. She's a good girl. She's a girl to take home to mama. Yeah. Yeah. So that was another trait Ruth had. So she was humble. She was polite and courteous. She was humble, right? And then she was also submissive, right? And then another trait she had was she gave place to good advice. She wasn't the kind of, I know it all, who are you to advise me? I'm not going to take correction from you. Like, who are you? What do you think you have? What do you think you know? She was young, yet she understood the place of good counsel. The Bible says, in the multitude of counsel, we avoid error. So because she paid attention to the good counsel Naomi gave her, if not, she would have maybe gone out there and met some crazy guy, or maybe she would have been in the field and be flirting with the other guys there. No. She followed the counsel. Okay, I'm here. I'm going to do what I came here to work. I'm going to work. And if this guy's already having my time, I stick with him. I don't try to be everybody's girl. No. She was organized. She took good counsel so she could live her life in a good way. And also, we discover, this is not very clear, but there was something I discovered when studying that. Another trait was that it's important as a woman that wants to be found to dress in modesty, right? So the Bible says she went for Boaz to uncover her, which means she was covered. She wasn't just leaving it all out there, Nowadays, you just, sometimes the boobs, oh no, God, Like everything is just out there. You don't need to stress to see it. But she was modest. So another trait to look for is modesty. I mean, modesty that comes from the heart outward. I'm not talking about just covering up outside, but inside there's just lots of wrong things going on, you know. Another trait we discover in Ruth is that she was super generous. She was. When Boaz gave her, she didn't just keep it to herself. She took it back to her mother-in-law and showed and shared with her. So it's important to be generous. I mean, as a woman, it's important. Because if you're in a man's house, there are always going to be visitors from his people, your people, even strangers. It's important to be generous. The Bible says you give and it will give you. It will be given unto you in good measures, pressed down and shaken over. So learn to release, right? Right. So another another thing I discovered in Ruth is that she wasn't materialistic or money-minded. She went for integrity over all of these things. She wasn't just looking for a man that will give her, buy stuff for her with no integrity. She wasn't materialistic. It's funny because we're in a funny generation where materialism is taking over the world. I'm not saying don't be good or have good things or look good, but don't be materialistic, because that has a way of repelling men. Men don't just want women that are taking to buy stuff and not empowering themselves to be better. So don't be materialistic if you want to be found by your Boaz. And for the men, they want a woman that is not materialistic, right? It's important for them. And also another trait we discover is that Ruth was obedient to the mother-in-law. We saw her being obedient, like all the way, obedient. And obedience starts with being obedient to God. If God says don't do something, don't do it. So if you're with a man and he's like, okay, no, don't do like this, because it's in the line with the word of God. I'm not saying to be bossed around. I'm just saying be obedient. It's a form of being humble. Another trait that Ruth had, is that she was very homely. She was a homemaker. We see her always taking care of the home, cooking, bringing food in and out and out. So it's important. See, this is one thing that the generation is missing, right? We see Ruth was working. And now we find ladies that just want to sit there and let a man provide. No. Ruth went out to work. That's why, to me, I mean, if you and your man, you guys have an agreement, that's good. But I don't believe in women just sitting there. Even nowadays, even the people that call the so-called housewives, they are now big-time entrepreneurs. Even this virtuous woman everyone keeps talking about, she was a crazy entrepreneur. Yes, she was taking care of her home. So we see Ruth taking care of the home and still working. It's about trusting God to find a balance, to put things in perspective. Another trait is that a Boaz and a Ruth had together is they were willing to stay sexually pure till they get married. But this generation is a testing one. They want to test, they want to do this, and we can just, So, it looks like if you're waiting for that man that is not going to want sex before marriage, it's not going to happen. But there are men out there, and they are going to wait till you guys are married and do what you guys need to do. All right? So that is a route for you. So you can go ahead and read it for yourself. And I trust God to inspire you more. I know some amazing roots in my life. Like, I have my sisters, my girls. They're just amazing. I look at them and the way they handle their homes and their lives. I'm like, oh man, that guy is lucky. So ladies, there we go. Gentlemen, I don't know if I missed what you're looking for in your route, but if I missed it, just mention it in the comment section. Thank you again and stay blessed. I love you.